So today I thought I'd talk to you about my skincare routine, take you through it maybe, and also talk to you about what didn't work for me. So let's get into it. So we're starting off with things that didn't work for me, and the first thing that didn't work for me was the Boots Expert Anti-Blemish Cleansing Foam. I think I got this off my auntie. I don't know how old it is. So it was the first thing I used in my skincare routine and it just never worked. Never did anything for me. I just kind of used it and it just never worked. I'm so happy I can get rid of it now because I don't think I'll ever be using it or pass it on to anybody. I then decided that it was time to get some kind of cleanser, like face wash properly, that will work. And I bought a box from Asda, which was Clean and Clear, and it was the Exfoliating Daily Wash. I don't suppose it worked for me. I used it a few times, but I just don't really think it's my thing. It didn't really do anything for me. I mean, if I used the whole Clean and Clear range, maybe it would, but it's quite expensive as well. So I don't really think it worked for me. Again, all this stuff might work for other people, but for me, it just didn't work. Also in the box with the daily wash was dual action moisturiser. I'm not really a moisturiser kind of person. I'll moisturise in the morning maybe, after a face mask, after a bath, anything, where I've got my face wet, but I'm not really a moisturiser kind of person. So it was okay, but again, with the daily wash, I just didn't use it. And as you can see, it's quite dusty, so you can tell how long it's been since I've used this. The next thing I tried was the Neutrogena Visibly Clear Light Therapy. I'd heard about this on Instagram, people I knew were using it, and I was like, surely it must work. So I was like, I need to have one of these. I think I spent about £15 on it, and I don't think it personally works. For me, at least. And it's basically you turn it on, and as you can see, it creates a light, and then you put the light to like your spot, and you tend to sit here for like 10 minutes. And I just kind of think that it just produced a red ring around my spot and just did nothing. I used it multiple times, and I just don't think it worked at all. So that's one crossed off my list. As spoke about in a previous video, another thing that didn't work for me was glow stars. I don't think they work for me. The ones that light up and glow in the dark, I think they come off so easy when you're in bed. Like, they came off so easy for me. So I don't think they work personally. I used them quite a few times, and I think I'm going to sell them personally because they might work for somebody else, but for me, I don't think they do. So moving on to things that did kind of work, but I'm unsure about and don't really use now. I have a few things that I've used over the years, and as I've kind of developed in my skincare routine, they've just kind of not fitted in. So starting with something that I was recommended by Shannon, which was the Tea Tree Gentle Facial Scrub from Wilko's. I started using this and it works so well. There's like little bits in it, and I used to use it in like the bath, and it was really nice. And then over time, I kind of thought maybe not. So I have another one of these like fall, and I maybe in the future I'd use it again, but for right now I don't think it fits into my skincare routine. Along with the daily face scrub, I have a facial wash. I didn't really use this. I bought the whole range from Wilko's of Tea Tree, but I just don't think there was any room for this in my skincare routine at all, because with using the gentle face scrub, I didn't really have time or space for this. So I think it just got lost in the space of time, really. So maybe in the future I'd use it, but I think there's just too many things in that range for this. At night time, I tend to use face lotion, so along with that range, but this is in the sensitive skin one. There was one from the tea tree range, but I ended up not getting it. I think I picked up this one for some reason. It's the sensitive skin toner from Wilko's, and it's okay. It's basically like most other toners. So yeah, as you can see, it's like half full. So I've used it multiple times. And again, I think it just kind of slipped out of my skincare routine somewhere. I've changed toners and lotions a lot over time. So I think this one, again, just kind of dropped off really. As mentioned before, I don't really use moisturisers a lot. So when I picked up the also Wilko Skin Therapy one in tea tree, I used it a few times and maybe I'd use it again. It's quite light, it's okay. I just don't really moisturise that often, so maybe why I've got spots all the time. But yeah, maybe it kind of just got missed off my skincare routine at the minute. One thing from the range of Wilko Skin Therapy that did really work was the overnight blemish calmer. I use this quite a lot. There's hardly anything left in it, so I probably would add this to my skincare routine again, but I have got something similar to this in my skincare routine currently that does actually work. So as this over time stopped kind of working a little bit, I've kind of adapted to new things that are quite similar. So if I was to go back to anything, I'd probably add this back to my skincare routine. Another thing that I was kind of unsure about was these eye wrinkle gel patches. I look like I've been punched in the face multiple times sometimes. I have bags under my eyes for sure. So I bought these thinking, wow, this might sort it out. And you can't really sit normally with them on because they are gel, so they kind of slip down your face, so you have to sit back with them on, and that kills your neck. So it's either have bags under your eyes or get neck pain. So I use these not very often, if ever. I have 2 boxes of it though. They kind of look like that in the packaging, so you kind of just like pull them open and then you stick them on. But once you're rubbing the gel in after you've taken them off, it feels really nice. So I kind of and ah about this one. I don't really know. Something else that I kind of have on the not sure, I have simple soothing facial toner. As I've mentioned, I've used a lot of toners like developing over the years, and this is kind of as you can see, I've used it and I think it's okay, but it's kind of a backup for if I really didn't have anything else. I just don't use it enough. Another thing that I've used in the past is tea tree. I've used multiple different companies with tea tree, and depending on the strength and the amount of tea tree oil in it will depend on how much it works for me. So I've used Superdrugs when there's little amount of tea tree and it's just oil on your face after that. But this one, which I actually get from the Pine Shop, tea tree essential oil, literally love it. Brilliant. Like, it works so well. But after using it for a while, it kind of stopped working and I was literally just putting tea tree oil on my face. So if I've got any like spots that have like kind of just popped or whatever, I will kind of use this because tea tree is a natural antiseptic, so it works quite well. But with the calming, the blemish calming balm kind of thing, the tea tree oil and the balm that I've got that works, it doesn't really match up or fit in with it, so it's a every so often kind of product. Another tea tree product, as you can see, I use quite a lot of tea tree because I think it kind of helps. I bought from Superdrug, which was an overnight jelly. I don't really know if this works. I put it on and it feels okay. It's got Witch Hazel in it, and I really like it as well. But again, it's on occasion, maybe I'll put it on. So Another product that I bought, which I don't use very often, is the Misfit Cosmetics Blackhead Extraction Paste. This kills. It hurts to get off. Me and Shannon have done it multiple times all over the face, with tears streaming down our face as well, because our eyes are watering. Literally, it hurts so much. And you're meant to see, like, pull it off and see, like, stuff come out your pores. And I don't know if it works really. Like, I can withstand the pain, but I'm not too sure if it actually works. Moving on to things that do work for me. At night, I have more of a technical skincare routine. So I use products in a certain order, and I use them throughout the day as well. So the first thing that I started off with was the Beauty Formulas with Activated Charcoal Clay Mask. I love this. You saw me in my day in the life in quarantine using this. I think it's really good, and I then moisturise afterwards using the Simple Replenish Rich Moisturiser. I think this is a really good moisturiser. I don't use it very often, but it is so nice, and it's just after feeling my face feel quite tight with this on, this makes it all better. It's so nice. I'd highly recommend it. Another thing that I usually use maybe once a week is the Seventh Heaven Charcoal Mud. I'd usually use it if I went in the bath. I don't use it that often, but I still do use them because I think they're quite good. It's just getting rid of it, like getting it off and stuff. The little charcoal bits, they get left everywhere. So I kind of prefer my other clay mask that I might use, but I do use this because I think it is really good. Another thing that I'll commonly use in my skincare routine is charcoal nose strips, which are from T-Zone. I don't have any left to show you though. I'll just put them across my nose, and I've seen them actually pull stuff out of my pores, which I've never seen before with like the extracting paste, but I think they're quite good. I use this every so often, maybe a couple of times a week, but they are quite good. Even though I've seen videos of like dermatologists saying that they don't really do anything, like they'll pull stuff out, but that doesn't really mean anything. But hey, I really like them, so I carry on really. If we're talking face wash, like I will use this in the bath or whatever, I use the Tea Tree Daily Use Cleansing Foam Face Wash. It foams up, it's really nice, I really like the smell of it, like I think it's just so good. Like, I feel like it really cleanses. Anything tea tree, like, I'm up for it. I love it. So I highly recommend this. It's something that I got recommended by my nan. I tried using Sudocreme, and it says that there's like 10% of like the population who use it that it won't do anything for and won't work on. It just did nothing for my spots, and I was like, alright, but I will use it. Say I get a cold or anything, or I'm blowing my nose a lot, I will use it here, and it really softens and is really nice. So before I go to bed at night, I might be like, okay, well, I just put some there, because it feels really smooth and stuff, and I get really dry lips sometimes, but I don't like lip balm, so I kind of tend to avoid it. So the top of my lip might be quite dry, so I'll just put some Sudocreme and go over a little bit, and it just feels really nice. Something I have used for quite a while, I used the Witch Naturally Clear cleansing lotion, and it was really good. I got it from the pound shop. I highly recommend it. And then I ran out of it. So, and I tried to find it everywhere. I couldn't find it in the pound shop, nowhere. I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I couldn't find any on Amazon or online or anywhere. So I had to think of something quick. So I started to use the Clean and Clear Deep Cleansing Lotion. I put it in this bottle because I think that this one's a bit like, I use cotton balls, so kind of pouring it on, it kind of comes out quick. So I think it's kind of easier to just take the lid off this and just tip it onto a cotton bud. So I used to use this when I was a lot younger, when I used to use Freedom Spot like gel, but that again didn't work for me either. And I kind of thought the smell was quite strong, and I was like, you know. and maybe it doesn't work. So I stopped using it for quite a few years, and literally now I use it all the time, every night, because I just think, because it's so strong and smells a lot, I just think it works quite well. So I put it in this and use it all the time. One thing that is really important to my skincare routine are exfoliating pads. I use these after I've used the cleanser, the cleansing lotion, and I recently, obviously with lockdown, the shop's been closed, so I've not been able to go into stores that I wanted to go into to get my skincare routine. So as I thought that Superdrug was closed, it wasn't, but I was under the assumption it was. I went into Boots and bought Tea Tree and Witch Hazel exfoliating pads. These are quite thin compared to the Superdrug ones, which are the facial cleaning pads that I have here. These are quite thick, quite sturdy. You only get 40 in this, when with this you get 60, but these are quite thin. So I do it every night and I pick one up, but they're quite thin, so rubbing it over your face, they don't really do as well as I thought they would. So I will probably stick to the Superdrug ones, but I do love these, and I think exfoliating pads are brilliant, like they're amazing. These are more watery than these are. They kind of hold moisture for longer, so your whole face is kind of like wet. So they are quite good. These are quite good, but I think I will be sticking to the Superdrug ones. So the final thing in my skincare routine is the T-Zone Skincare Spot Zapping Gel. This is similar to the Calming Balm from Wilko's, but this works quickly. I put it on at night, it says it works in 4 hours, and I wake up and my spots, if they had a head on the night before, they don't. So I think this works really well. I've got backups when I run out, because I tend to run out of this quite a bit because I spread it apart. It dries really quickly as well, so I'll put some on my finger and I'll be like, just rub it in a bit, and by the time I've gone to the bathroom or anything, it's dry. Which is quite good because I wear an eye mask at night and I don't want stuff sticking to it and making my eye mask smell. And yeah, no, it works really well. I highly recommend it. That's upside down. Yes, I highly recommend it. I think I'll be keeping this in my skincare routine for a long time. So, as mentioned at the start of the video, I am going to be showing you my basic night care routine of what I do. So I will start off with the Witch Hazel, and I have a pot of cotton buds, which I get from Superdrug as well because I really like them. Well, because I get a bag of 300 and that takes ages to use. So I'll tip it on here. I have a mirror over here, so I'll be looking in that. And I'll just kind of go over all of my skin. This might be kind of dirty today because I have been sweating quite a bit because it is quite hot in the UK at the minute. Also, if you see my arms, I think I have got prickly heat on my arms, which isn't very good and really annoying, but hey, I'll deal with that. I can't tan, so, and there we go. As you can see, it's quite dirty, but that's quite normal. And then I just kind of put it back. I will need to refill this soon because it is quite empty. So I kind of let my face dry a bit. Usually earlier in the day, after this video, I might do do a face mask. I might try this again, but it'll probably hurt and I'll probably be crying. So we'll see which one I use. So as my face is I'll at night go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, do whatever, and my face will be drying whilst I'm there. So then I will use the Tea Tree and Witch Hazel. So I'll pick one of these out. You have to close this up afterwards, kind of straight away, because you don't want the moisture getting out of the pot, because that's what keeps them moist. As you can see, as mentioned, it is quite thin. There is crosses and stuff. So just to make sure that everything's extra clean, I'll just go over with one of these pads. I think it smells quite nice as well. I, as mentioned, didn't use these before, so I do really like them, but again, they're quite thin, so I'm not too sure. And then I'll like flip it over, as you can see. You might be able to see, you might not be able to see. Usually if I hold it up to the light, I'll be able to see that that's quite dirty. So even after using cleansing lotion, my skin's still dirty. So I'll just kind of use them again on the other side. As you can see, it like folds up, and because there's not much structure to it, it kind of just scrunches up, which isn't really the best, but that's why I'd stick to Superdrug, because they don't. But they're like £4 for a pot, something like that. And obviously if there's only 40, you get less in it, but I think I'd go, so you'd be paying more every so often, but I think I'd go with the structure more than that. So that's that done. You might be able to see, you might not, but that's kind of dirty, but then again, that's fine. And then I kind of let it dry. So now I've let it dry for a few minutes, I'm going to apply the T-Zone calming gel. So you kind of have to do that because it doesn't come out often. And there it is. So I will just apply it to my spots here. It smells quite strong and stings but if it stings, I kind of think it's working. Like, that might not be right, but I think so. My chin is quite bad at the minute, you might be able to see. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I don't know, I just kind of tend to break out sometimes. Especially like with sweating a lot, like breaking out is quite common for me. I do have some of these ready for like if I run out, because I do really like it, so hence not wanting to run out of it. So I think I've got every bit of it, maybe. Yeah, I think I've got everything now. And it's drying up quite quickly, which I think is quite good. So that's my skincare routine. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe took something that you might like from it. Everything that I've really talked about is still like available, like you can buy it, apart from the Witch Hazel, which upsets me, but hey, well, I've fixed something with another product now, so it'll be okay. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you sometime. Bye.